Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center, and today we're pitting two affordable American-made EDC pocket knives against each other. It's the Kershaw Dividend versus the Buck Sprint Select, and you get to pick the winner. Let's do this. Both of these knives hit a real sweet spot for an entry-level American-made folder. They're put together well, the materials are solid, and they come in at a price that most are going to be able to afford. Both of them are flippers, they have liner locks, synthetic handles, and feature hollow ground 420HC blades. Both are a good length for EDC that have about 3 inches of sharpened edge, and that's going to be plenty enough for getting most things done day to day. The Buck Sprint Select features a unique drop point shape, and there's not too much belly on here. Sometimes when there's too much, it can get in the way of some of those tasks you need to do, but there's just enough here for the versatility you want without being too aggressive. The Kershaw Dividend, on the other hand, features a modified Wharncliffe blade. It has a finer tip, and that's going to be really useful for nice cuts on the draw, scoring, or more aggressive cuts when you really don't want the tip to slip out of your material. That finer tip is especially going to be useful when you need to get things out of packages that may be secured down with tight-fitting zip ties. You'll really be able to get that point in there and cut through with ease. Both of these knives also feature a stone-washed finish, which is something that entry-level knives can sometimes skip because it's essentially a random pattern polishing that's achieved by tumbling the blades with abrasive stones. And that takes time, and of course time is money, but the result is a really nice looking finish, and it's going to stay nice looking for longer because scratches are naturally going to blend into that pattern when you use your knife. Both of the liner locks are perfectly serviceable, and I have no complaints about either of them. Blade play is pretty much non-existent, and they're easy to disengage when you're done cutting. Both of the handles fit very well in my hands, and they have enough texture for grip without being too aggressive. I also appreciate the integrated finger guard that's formed by the flipper when the knife is open. That's going to keep your digits from sliding forward, and that's a degree of safety that's certainly appreciated. You can see how they fit in my hands here, and both are big enough for a nice full gorilla paw so you can really bear down on some work, but they're small enough to fit in the pocket nicely, and they're not going to get in the way when you need to do more precise things. Both knives also come with reversible pocket clips that are set up for tip-up carry and can be carried on the left or the right side. The Kershaw features a more conventional black affair with a nice logo on the front. It's secured to the scales of the knife with 2 screws here at the end. The Buck's clip, on the other hand, screws into the backspacer and wraps around to the side, but it's not quite deep carry because you do have a little bit sticking up there. The clip is also stone-washed to match the finish of the blade, and you get the small Buck anvil logo at the end. This design is maybe a little bit more discreet than the Kershaw's, although I wouldn't mind if they bent the tip down for a little bit more comfort. As I said, the clip does screw into the backspacer, which you can see is Cerakoted a nice red color that adds a touch of color and brings life to the frame. If you don't like this particular color combination, there are a couple other options, both with different colored scales and different colored backspacers. While the Kershaw lacks color in its backspacer, it makes up for that by making it a semi-floating design, which really spices up the back of the knife. When it comes to the mechanics of opening these blades, here's where the real differences between these two knives emerge. The Dividend features Kershaw's famous SpeedSafe assisted opening setup, providing consistent, snappy action every time. Whereas the Sprint features Buck's first use of a ball-bearing pivot system in knives in this price point. You'll notice pretty quickly that it has a lighter detent than many of their competitors. They've gone for smoothness rather than outright speed with this design. And once you've adjusted to that, opening is quite comfortable and low effort, and I've really grown to love it. We think that both of these knives prove that you don't have to go overseas to get a worthwhile, affordable EDC knife. Honestly, even though I'm accustomed to carrying higher-end knives, I wouldn't hesitate to put either one of these knives in my pockets. So which one do you prefer? Do you go for the Wharncliffe blade and the speed-safe action of the Kershaw Dividend, or the smooth flipping drop point of the Buck Sprint? You could get one of these models, but if you're willing to spend a little bit more money, each one also has upgraded variants with nicer handle materials and blade steels. Be sure to let us know down in the comments which one would get your pick, and if you want to get your hands on either of them, click the link in the description below to head over to KnifeCenter.com.